here with Rob from Hashtronaut. If you don't know them, check them out. They are fucking badass. Uh,
Oh,
absolutely. Rob, greatly appreciate you taking time for number two for this.
oh, dude, I'll do one of these a week if you ask me, man. This shit's a blast. I love talking to you, Tom.
Hell yeah. So expensive week for you. What kind of shit has went?
Oh, dude, freaking! I had to buy a swamp cooler. I had to buy a car. I had to buy, dude. It's just been one of those weeks, you know.
Yeah, yeah, I fucking mine was I guess it was in March. I had to get a new roof, a new furnace, like whole system.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, we had a new washer and dryer was the other one. I knew there was another one. Washer and dryer shit the bed.
Like fuck.
Yeah, dude. And then like so the end of the week, it's already been like a $7,000 week, you know.
Yeah.
And then my wife gets in a little fender bender on the way to work. And so for what it's going to cost us to fix her car, I'm just like, let's just get into something new, you know?
Yeah.
It's an older car, whatever, but it's nothing too catastrophic and everybody's fine. And it was just a little fender bender, but man, it's just been one of those weeks there, you know?
That's all
The
right. At
bank
least
account ain't happy about it.
it's done and out of the fucking way.
Yeah, I can
Right?
get back to buying weed and amps next week.
Yeah. The important stuff.
Exactly, you know?
So how long has No Return been out?
It came out the end of March, so 3 months and change.
Okay. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah, end of this month, couple weeks will be 4 months. And man, it's been crazy. We did a little bit of touring already to support it. We've got a little bit more stuff coming up, but the reception has been wildly impressive. I was not expecting a record made by a bunch of stupid stoners to do as well as it's been doing, you know.
Well, surprisingly enough, like I feel like, on the doom side, stoner music is really fucking on the rise. There's so much talent, and like it blows me away every fucking day. I dig a little bit deeper and I'm like, who the fuck is this? Oh my God. Like
There's
this,
so many good bands. There's so every town we go to, we're playing with some new amazing band. Even just Denver itself, our scene just here in Denver it's almost too good. Like there's too many options, you know. It's like legitimately like we go to book a show here, like our tour kickoff show, and just like narrowing down who we were gonna ask to even play. Like it was like you had to piss somebody off.
yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that going on here, right? Because they're like on any given night, if there's one show, there's probably four other shows going on.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's like, fuck, like I'm gonna go to this show and I'm gonna try and make that show, and I'd love to really get that one, but this is the
Mm-hmm.
one I have to get to. And everyone's like, why weren't you at my show? Like,
Yeah, it happens. It definitely it happens a lot in Denver too, where like I'll catch my buddy's set instead of like sticking on for the whole show because I gotta like run across the street and I got another buddy over here playing, down this other venue, and then because of the foul sounds, I have like other professional obligations where I'm like, oh, I gotta go check in with so and so because we have a pedal coming out with them, and
yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Especially when you're my age. It's going to shows every damn night. Just it's a lot.
it's exhausting. Yeah.
Sure, man.
You're still young though, dude. Like you,
Oh Jesus, I'm way closer to the end than the beginning. Are you kidding me?
hey, that could be said for everyone.
If you die when you're 20, then you're old when you're 15.
That's true. That's the fucking truth. Oh shit. So how old are you?
I'll be 42 in like a week and something. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Some point in July.
Sometime around.
Yeah, sometime this summer
Yeah. Yeah,
before the
fuck.
sun starts going down earlier.
I just passed. I just hit 48 in May.
Right on. You look great, dude.
Well, thanks, dude. I don't feel like it. Like my fucking
Me neither, man.
hip, back, like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that was the other thing. It's been rough. Like me and the wife both felt like dog shit all week too. So we had to spend like $20,000, and we both just want to stab ourselves in the stomach with a
Yeah.
screwdriver. You know?
Like, fuck the stomach. Like stab me in the eye. Maybe it'll take care of all
Oh, dude.
this.
Oof.
Oh shit. So I'm glad to hear that the response to No Return has been just fucking what I hear is it's been overwhelmingly positive, right? People are absolutely raving about it.
It's a lot to take in, honestly. Like like the numbers are there too, and that's a it's that's a really cool like quantifiable statistic to have.
Yeah.
To see listener counts go up and to see views go up and this and that, and that's all really awesome, and I love that stuff. And like, I'm not trying to discredit like our fans or the people that are supporting my band, but like the thing that's really been like the most overwhelming has been like the reaction of like who I consider our peers, and like people that like I respect as musicians being like, you guys made a hell of an album, like this tones are great and this and that, and like getting actual compliments from like people who whose opinion like truly matters. Like that
Yeah.
shit is that shit'll blow my mind way more than
Well,
a million listeners on Spotify
uh,
does.
at that point, right, you become like a band's band. You're like, well, shit, when all these other bands are actually listening to us and digging into it, it's cool as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. So here's a crazy one right here. Like this blew my mind. Like our the other guitar player, he lives in Seattle, and he went and saw Yob the other night, and he just got to bullshitting with Mike after the show, and Mike had been listening to Hashtronaut, and he's like, the album's great, you guys got amazing tones, and I'm like, fuck you, dude, like fuck you, like
Right.
god damn it, like what am I supposed to do with that? What Mike Shite said my band is good? What the fuck am I supposed to do with that? Like
Keep doing what you're fucking doing. Like
crazy. It's
that's
crazy to me. And like I hate being that guy, like, oh, name dropping, and I hate, but like that one, like, it's Yob, and then it's Sleep, and then who else is there in the scene? You know what I mean? Above them, like it's
right.
just a crazy. It's just one of those things. Just going back to what I was saying, like listener numbers, that's rad, but like hearing that like Mike Shite, like I don't even consider that dude my peer. That dude is well above me. Like that is not a peer at all. He's the principal of the school I still go to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that dude is like, you guys are rad. Like, even if you didn't fucking mean it, like that's still awesome.
I don't think he would say it if he didn't fucking mean it though.
Right, but it's still like that's the stuff that's really been like wildly overwhelming. Is like we didn't like set out to make this like crazy album or like blow anybody's mind, and I'm not saying that we did. I'm not like, but it's crazy when people like are excited about it.
Yeah.
And like we go to the we come to your town, and people are just like waiting to smoke weed with us, and just like I'll go at all our gear, and ask us 1,000 questions about pedals and amps, and like that's my favorite thing. It's absolutely my favorite thing. I
Well,
love
yeah,
it.
you get to do something you love and nerd out over something you love on the road.
Absolutely,
Like
absolutely, it's the best.
who
It's
doesn't?
absolutely the best. I hope it keeps happening forever. You hear that, everybody? When we come to your town, come smoke weed with me and talk to me about my pedal.
Yeah, let's nerd out on gear shit.
Yeah, I'll absolutely talk about how I use a clon for one note in the set for as long as you want to talk about
That's that's fucking awesome. Uh,
it. Yeah, it's the hugest dickhead move of all time. I love it.
it could be. I don't think it's the hugest dickhead move at all, right? I'm sure there are much bigger moves out there,
Oh yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
but
We're just
shit.
like we're huge tone dorks, like, and I think that's part of why people enjoy the record so much is the tone. Like if you're into guitar tone and you're into like the tone of a band, like that's you know not that I think we're excel in any specific thing. I hate to pat myself on the back. I truly do. But you ask me questions about my band, I'm going to answer them.
Yeah, no, pat yourself
Um,
on the back. That's what it's fucking there for.
I just feel like that's one of the areas that we do excel. Like, you know, it's like our live show is really entertaining. Our tone is really good. If you're into amps, you're gonna love looking at us on stage. You know.
Well, and the song structure is really fucking good too, right?
Oh,
Like
thanks.
like No Return starts with Wizard, and you're like, holy shit. Like if this is what the beginning of the album sounds like, what do I have left to fucking, get? And you're just excited to get into it and listen to the whole fucking thing.
Thanks, man. That's a really fun riff.
Yeah. The whole album is really, really fucking fun. Um,
Yeah, I think that's like kind of part of, you know, being in a band called Hashtronaut is like you're kind of it gives you a lot of freedom to do a lot of shit. Like we're allowed to literally make any mistake ever and just show up late to a venue. You're like, oh, sorry, and they're like, all right, guys.
you were just high.
You're
I
an
get it.
astronaut. I'm
Yeah.
all right. You fucking stupid stoners. Go find your goddamn dog and solve some mysteries, you know? You know, so like, but the other thing is like, you can't, like, it's not, you can't really take it too seriously. Like,
Right.
if we came out and we were called Hashtronaut and, you know, we had all these gloomy songs that were all sad and the song structure was all, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's all minor chord progressions and you know what I mean? Like, but like, if it was like if we were all like doom and gloom and a bummer, like it would kind of wouldn't fit. I don't think, you know.
Right.
And not
Well,
all the song, like not all the song content is definitely like. I think we have one song that's actually about weed. You know.
that I who was I talking? I was talking to someone a couple weeks ago, and they're like, they played Doom. I don't fucking remember who it was, and everything's about weed, but they don't fucking smoke weed.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's freaking hilarious, dude. It's like, yeah,
it's
people,
always weird to me. Like, especially we'll play a show with some band and it'll be like, you know, friggin' weed balloon and you know bong blah. You know what I mean? And then you go to smoke weed with them and they're like, oh no thanks. You're like, what?
what? Yeah,
Aren't you in a band called Ganja Demon? Like, what are we doing? Like, that's probably a real band. If it is, I'm sorry. I have no idea. I'm totally joking.
right.
Ganja Demon.
And
That's a good band name.
that
Dibs.
is a
Nobody
good band
steal
name.
that. You heard it here first.
That's Rob's.
That'll be our side project. Me and you,
It's
Tom. Let's
yeah,
do it.
it's fucking Hashtronaut and Ganja Demon going on tour.
Fucking do it, dude.
What does Ganja Demon do? Well, Rob
We just
plays really
smoke weed. It
well.
isn't even instruments.
I don't even smoke weed, which is fucking funny.
Yeah, you just watch me smoke weed, and that's the whole band. And
That's
people are
like
like, what is this?
it's like
Like,
it's
yeah, we already got your $10 is what it is.
yeah, that's so fucked. Uh, I tried smoking weed at one point. I've tried a couple of different times and it makes me depressed as shit.
Yeah. I mean, I'm already depressed as shit. And it might not help. Like it could be making me more depressed. Who knows? I wouldn't notice, honestly.
Yeah, nah, I was
When
like,
you just live at rock bottom, it's
you're good. If you're already down there, you're not going
hey,
any
fuck
lower,
it, might as well
fucker.
be stoned while I'm down here.
Right? Nah, you're not fucking living at rock bottom. You're doing pretty
No,
good.
fuck no, I'm awesome, dude.
Oh, it cracks me up. So you don't just listen to Doom. You're just not all Doom all the time, right? Like,
um, I kind of don't listen to a ton of it. Um, I mean, I do and I don't. Like, I listen to a lot of hip hop. I listen to a lot of like old blues, and like classic rock is a lot of what I normally listen to if I'm just like putting on music in my house or while I'm driving. It'll be like, Muddy Waters or like Kendrick Lamar is, you know what I mean, is mostly like what I'm listening to, like just
okay,
personal now. But like when I play guitar, it's just is those riffs. I don't know why. It just that's what happens no matter what. I just can't do anything else.
I'm gonna have a hardcore band. Like,
I was in a like heavy like hardcore bands for a long time and just the older I got, the more it just was like became about tone and not like breakdowns and hurting people.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of gravitated me towards playing this stuff. I've always listened to it. Like it's always been in my radar. I've been listening to Sleep since like the 90s and stuff. Um, but it's just like it's not something I listen to like constantly. Like I have friends
Right.
that are in stoner bands and doom bands, and like they don't listen to anything else. They don't listen to, you know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
only friggin' Electric Wizard and Windhand and Crowbar and like Doom adjacent stuff. And it's I definitely listen to my fair share of it. Like if you open up my Spotify and I listen to Windhand today, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's not something I don't listen to. Um, but it's not something that like where I'm one of these people that only, you know, it's just heavy, doomy, sludgy. Like it's not.
No, I'm with you. You
It's
need
part
some,
of a healthy musical diet, I feel like, you
you
know.
need some fucking variety, you know?
Yeah.
I think people are often blown away. Like first thing you said is I listen to hip hop, and I'm sure people are like, "What? You listen to hip hop?" Like,
Primarily it's like mostly what I listen to.
okay,
Like if I'm like putting on music in my house or in my car, it's usually hip hop is like my first go to. And then I'm like, I'm not really feeling this, and I'll throw on like Steve Miller Band or something. You know what I mean? Um, but even then, like I've been going nuts lately buying like really old blues vinyl,
okay,
just going to like flea markets and stuff and just like buying stuff I've never even heard of just to, you know, it'd be $2 and like who cares? It's not going to be bad.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's $2. Like,
Exactly. And it's like, you know, and then it's been fun like finding all these fun old Led Zeppelin riffs. I'm like, oh, I recognize Kashmir. Okay.
like all of that shit though, right? It was like Led Zeppelin, Rolling Stones, like all they did is rip off the all those old fucking blues and R&B people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of it. And I'm like, I give Led Zeppelin their dues. Like they're one of the most, you know, influential and, you know, critical rock bands of all time. But like, yeah, it's wild to, you know, there's YouTube videos. I've seen a couple of them that like really deep dive into like what's what and like how they really went about it. And like they were unapologetically stealing shit. Like they weren't even like, wait, what? Are you sure? They were
Right.
like, yeah, we took your shit, dude. Do something about it. Like
Right.
we're fucking Led Zeppelin. Like you're this poor Delta blues musician from Mississippi. Do you know what a lawyer is? Like they were
Right.
assholes, dude. They were
Yeah.
assholes.
Yeah, it's
Um,
funny. Like it makes you wonder like what was going on with them when they were like, "Hey, we're gonna do this." But you know, I think if I get the story right, they were all except for Plant, they were all studio musicians and buddies and started the band.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's kind of I don't really know the whole story either, but yeah, it was kind of like after Plant had like left the Yardbirds and whatever other projects he was doing, he like got together with like you know some A&R team, I'm sure, and they built a band.
no, it was the other way.
Oh, it
So
was.
the rest of the band was together, and maybe John said something. I don't remember. Someone said something to someone else, and they were like, "Hey, there's this dude who's singing in a band," and I think at that point Plant was singing in a bar band, and
Oh,
they went to see him. And they were like, "Hey, do you want to do this
oh,
thing?"
I was talking about Jimmy Page. I'm fucking dumb.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
M-
Jimmy Page is in the Yardbirds though.
yeah, but I don't know, something like that.
The
But
weird thing with like stealing back then, and like that was kind of the one of the things I watched is like a lot of music back then was just like covers,
mhm.
and like it was kind of like the laws were different and shit was different. Like
People looked at it very, very
Jimi
different.
Hendrix's first song he ever recorded and put out was a cover. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Like so like it wasn't weird to cover other stuff and not credit them. You know, it
yeah.
wasn't weird at the time. So like we look back at it now in 2024 and we're like, holy shit, they're fucking thieves and blah blah blah. But like even the culture of music at the time and like how covering things worked and like what an homage was the lines were different. Like where the goalposts are was different. So it's you can't just, you know, go back and call because a lot of rock music back then was borrowed and
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? So it's you know, you can't just be like Led Zeppelin or thieves. I mean, they did it, but I was just joking that like I've definitely been like listening to some like weird obscure blues that like I couldn't even tell you what it was because I just bought a bunch of weird shit at the flea market, and I'm like, I know that fucking riff, like
Yeah. You know,
it's been funny because it's
I
happened
like,
more than once. Like,
fuck yeah, dude. It happens all the time. Like even, listening to fucking the radio, you're like, oh, like, hold on, that is from that. Like I fucking get it.
oh yeah,
But way back, back in those days, 60s, 70s, I think, even, 40s, 50s, whatever, uh, artists on both sides, people playing it and the people who had written it, they looked at things very different than how we look at it today. Like today, we're easily offended, maybe.
yeah. Well, I mean, how intellectual property is treated is different.
Yeah,
Like, so it's like covering something back then didn't mean the same thing as covering something today, and even at that, like we had a riff on our record that I'm like, me and the guys are talking about it, and it was like, is this a High on Fire riff? Like, it sounds like it might be a High on Fire riff. And Kellen happened to be taking lessons from Jeff Matz at the time.
mm,
So during one of their video lessons, he was like, "Hey, can I play you a riff real quick and just tell me if this is a High on Fire riff?" And Jeff gave us the thumbs up, so we were able to use it.
hell
But
yeah.
even we were like, we've caught ourselves a couple times. We were like, there was a riff in another song that is on the record that we changed because we were like, that no, we just took it out completely and complete. The structure of the song is different because we decided as a band it was too similar to another riff.
That's good. And it's so hard to do because there are only so many different progressions.
Well, especially when the genre is based on one note.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we're all just
Yeah.
trying to play Dope Smoker at the end of the day. Like,
Yeah. I mean,
there's only so much you can do.
that I'll tell you, I went to see High on Fire just last month, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was last month. No, it was in May.
Hmm.
I went up to Detroit to see him, and that fucking show was so wild. Their drummer now, Cody,
Yeah, that dude is a machine. That dude's
he
an absolute machine.
dude, he fucking pounds the fucking skins. Like I'm watching him just like, holy shit, he's gonna need new drums tomorrow morning because these things are dead.
Yeah, that dude hits his drums real hard. They were the last couple times I saw them, they were like crazy good, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy, crazy. They're so tight. Like watching Jeff Matz play Snakes of the Divine with his fingers
Mm,
is bonkers.
yeah.
That is crazy to watch.
What a great fucking song that is too.
Like I
Like,
couldn't. It's hard to pick that, and he's just playing it with his fingers. It's
dude,
insane. The dude is wildly talented.
the whole band is fucking super,
Everybody in that band is crazy
you
talented. That's
know.
why they're one of the biggest bands in the genre. They're amazing musicians.
Yeah, one of the Matt the Riff Lord, like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. He's the guy.
Fuck yeah. So if there's like one band that you all could go on tour with, who would that be?
I mean, that's a tough question to answer because like touring with your buddies is the best shit ever. Like I
Yeah.
love we we've hit the road a little bit with Bong Wizard,
Hmm.
and they're just like those are the homies. We love them so much. Every time you get Hashtronaut and Bong Wizard together, it's a great time. Everybody's having a good time. So like it's the funnest thing. Like it's the funnest version I can imagine of what tour is. It's just we could be playing in each other's basements and I wouldn't care. It'd still be the funnest tour ever.
Hell yeah.
But as far as like bands that we like, would like to hit the road with, I don't know. I don't know what the criteria for that would be. Would it be just like,
Anything you want, dude. If there's like, if you said, like, I don't care if it's a band that doesn't exist anymore because everyone's dead, right? Like you have your pick of bands to tour with.
I think, well, obviously, you say anybody dead or alive. I'm like Queen. I want to tour with Queen. You know what
Fuck
I mean?
yeah.
Like, yeah, let's play Wembley Stadium every day. You
Hell,
know what I mean? Like, But
Yeah.
obviously it's just a silly tour. That would just be goofy. Astronaut and Queen would be nuts. By the third day, people are like, who the fuck? Like,
Or it would be totally opposite, like, holy shit, these guys are the best thing ever. Like, fuck Queen. We're fucking
yeah, oh my god, definitely. We're gonna
yeah,
overshadow Freddie goddamn Mercury.
right.
Like,
Oh,
fuck this dork with the piano. Who's this guy with all the amps?
yeah. That guy can actually sing. What the fuck?
I mean, High on Fire. Honestly, High on Fire would be a fucking rad one to tour with. Matt would probably be fun for a lot of reasons.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure that would be some fun tour stories would come out of spending every day with Matt Pike.
Oh yeah.
But doing a touring with Bong Wizard is always fun. We got to do a couple dates with Hippie Death Cult this year. Hitting the road with those guys would be rad.
Yeah. I think they're getting ready to hit the road, aren't they?
Oh, they are. Them and that's another band. Them and Cadabra. We've played with them a couple times now. They would be a blast to tour with. They're great dudes. Fuck. Just any of the homies bands, Abrams would be awesome to tour with. They're friends of ours from Denver. It'd be great to hit the road with them. They're just rad to hang around. I love Zach so much. But yeah, like it's a it would be just some buddies, so I could just have fun every day and have no responsibilities and just have fun all the time. Or it would be like a serious tour with like High on Fire or like Wind Hand or somebody where like we're gonna have to pay attention and work our asses off and
I think
make
those
an
are
impression.
I think those are going to be fun tours too, though.
Oh, I'm
Right?
sure
Like,
it's going to be a blast either way. But like, if we're touring with High on Fire, like, we're going to make sure it's everything. We're going to be running a tight ship.
oh yeah.
A much tighter ship than if it's us and Bong Wizard.
Yeah.
As you can imagine,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a lot of late breakfasts on that tour.
Yeah. Or as we like to call them, dinner before the show.
Oh, dude, punk rock breakfast, dude. It's the way to go.
Uh that would be a cool fucking show, you guys and High on Fire.
We have played with High on Fire. We played with it was us, Paul Bearer, and High on Fire.
Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, that was a really fucking fun show. That was a good time. Everyone was like, even my first reaction was like, I don't know how we got that one. Actually, I do know. We worked our goddamn asses off, and then we got that show. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. What a killer fucking bill, dude. Jesus.
Dude, it was a really good time. We had played with the Paul Bear dudes a couple times before that, so it was awesome to catch up with them again. And just kind of hang out and bullshit, talk about gear. They had just got some like Kulu thing on his mic. He was stoked to tell us about this like little optical sensor thing. It was really neat. So we dorked out about that because we're huge nerds. But it's just getting to catch up with friends is always a good time, and those dudes are just so rad to chill with. But yeah, it was definitely cool to play a show with High on Fire, and I would love to play some more with them if we ever get the opportunity to.
Fuck yeah. I'll make a phone call. Hey, what's up, dude? Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Put in the word for us, man.
Like I know people like, oh, look at me. What have you listened to the new Paul Bearer?
I have, and it's I love it because, like I said, I'm wildly depressed, so it's a very depressive album.
It
Yeah,
fits. Yeah,
it's I've only listened to it twice, like all the way through. A couple songs have come on, and I've lived. It's not. But like as far as like beginning to end, which is I kind of feel like it's one of those records where like that's the best way to ingest it.
absolutely.
Like picking just one track off of that, like you're going to get a great song, and you're going to get but to like gather, like I feel like there's like a vibe that kind of carries through it.
It's different from the rest of their stuff, right?
For sure. That's a little slower, a little more melodic, a little less aggressive. But yeah, it's a really fun listen. It's a really introspective listen.
Yeah, the first time I heard it, I was like, this is not what I was expecting.
It was kind of hard to get through the first time, like to be perfectly honest. Like not necessarily hard to get through, but like you said, it wasn't what I was caught a little off guard. It wasn't what I was expecting. It took me like, I had to back up, like, oh, let's put that one, start that one over,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna go back to the beginning. And it like took me a couple times before I really like was able to get all the way through it. And then it's a lot, dude.
It,
It's like watching a movie that you're about to cry at the end of.
yeah. Yeah, it really is. We did, I was helping a buddy of mine stuff records, and he put it on and we fucking listened to it. And
You
I'm
were
like,
probably working very slow.
no, we were actually
Like,
hustling, dude. But it was like we're just fucking hustling through it, bullshitting and like listening. And it was like most of our conversation revolved around the record, like, holy shit, did you catch that there? Like,
yeah,
this is not what I expected from them. But what a, like you heard it both sides, right? Some people are like, man, I really don't like it. It's not what I was expecting, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
I like a band that's going to challenge themselves, right? And put themselves out there and do something different.
absolutely.
Because, like, we already have AC/DC, right? Same album all the time.
Right.
And it's great. I'm not, no,
I love when a band not only challenges themselves, but challenges the listener as
yeah,
well. And it like sounds like such a corny thing to say, but like it really is like it's like it's when an album can make you be like, oh damn, I have to like pay attention. Like this isn't just and like I know this is a wild comparison because like I said, I listen to a ton of hip hop. Kendrick's last album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, it's a very, very weird hip hop album. Like it's about like fighting with your wife and getting therapy and like not knowing how to be a dad. And it's like a very weird hip hop album. And it's like, and a lot of his listeners were like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this? Like, what happened to Humble? What happened to All Right? You know what I mean? What happened
yeah,
to Good Kid, Mad City? You know what I mean? So it's like, it's very similar, I feel like, in that way, where it's like, it's kind of like, it seems like they're like therapy album, like they're
yeah.
like really dug deep on this one and like felt some shit.
Yeah, I feel like when artists do that, when they challenge whatever their status quo has been,
Mm-hmm.
it pushes them to that next level because the
Right,
listener is now at, it, instead of being just like a passive listener and putting it on because they're familiar with it,
right,
now they're an active listener and they have conversations and they go, hey dude, in this song, like, this is fucking what happened. This is what he's talking about. And holy shit, how fucking
right. And
awesome
then you
is
can have
that?
that conversation like, no, 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 no. It's like this. And I feel like this means that. And then by really what he means is, like,
Yeah.
and then you can have that conversation instead, like you said, instead of just being AC/DC, like here's a song about the fact that we're playing guitar.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Because who made who or whatever.
yeah. So but so like yeah, like challenging your listeners always. It's always very impressive to me when an established artist like that is willing to take that risk. Like Paul Bear, there was dudes like seen them a bunch of times. We played with them a few times. Like I've watched them play a lot, and it's like they are wildly talented musicians, and they could have absolutely just put out a record of just hit songs that
Yeah.
like probably got radio play. You know what I mean? And like my mom would be like, have you heard this new band Paul Bearer? You know what I mean? I'm sure they're capable of making wildly popular music, but instead they like made a record for themselves, it feels like.
Yeah.
And I love when bands do that. I love when bands like make their record and like speak to themselves and for themselves instead of just being like, we know what you guys want, here you go, give me your
Right.
money.
Well, the best music I feel, is from musicians playing that write music for themselves.
That's the best way to do it. It's exactly what Hashtronaut does. And I feel like, again, that's like one of the things that separates us from all these other weed bands that for some reason we're, people seem to dig us. So,
I don't
and I
I
think it is that just being authentic and like just playing songs that we think sound good and just
yeah.
wearing a t-shirt that fits good and you know what I mean, and not worrying about like what people want,
Yeah.
you
Well,
know?
that's that, that I think that's where like underground music, why it will always be underground music, like not necessarily the band, but just, like it is what it is because bands are out there, they're going to write music that they like, and the people
Right.
who actually like it are going to seek it out and really pay attention to the band. So like, so and so might have, a million, Spotify listeners or whatever, but like how many of those million actually listen to it, right? It's like I look at it kind of like a sales job, right? So like in a sales office, there you hear them bitch, not bitch, but praise how, oh, we do, this much volume every year or what have you. And the reality is like there's a small percentage of the salespeople who are actually doing that volume, and the rest are just like seat fillers, you know?
Well, we've always been like, especially for me, I could definitely speak for myself and just the way I've interacted with these dudes over the past few years. Like, we're much more about writing good music than popular music. Like,
Yeah.
I understand there's a very low ceiling in the genre. Like, we're not probably ever going to be, you know what I mean, full time fucking astronauts. Where, you know what I mean, like, it's going to be really difficult to do that. There's a very low ceiling in the genre, especially when you're called astronaut. You know.
Well, shit. I mean, even High on Fire has trouble with it.
Right. They have people, all these dudes still have jobs when they come off the road. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'd rather make good music than pop. Because, like, to go back to hip hop again, I saw this interview with Tupac a while ago, and they were talking about somebody else's sales. And they were like, oh, this is, they've been selling this record and they're selling all this, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, he's like, crack is selling real good too. He's like, does that make
Doesn't
it
make it
good?
good. Yeah.
You
I,
know what I mean? Just because it's selling don't make it good. Like,
well, and then
and luckily our record is selling too. Like, I don't know, we have very few copies left, if any. I'm not even sure. Like,
that's
we might have
awesome.
to, you know. But
Well,
so, like, that's, yeah, I wasn't expecting to sell as many. Like, all of it is blowing my mind, dude. All of this has been, it is not lost on me, and I appreciate all of it, and I appreciate every single person that comes out to every show and fucking smokes weed with us or just tells us that we are awesome.
so let me ask you this. You love hip hop. Are you a Tech Nine fan?
No, I
No.
mean, I appreciate it. I appreciate, like, that dude is wildly talented, you know. Like, dude is, but
He's
it's not for me.
he's a really smart fucking businessman.
Oh, that dude is a super smart businessman. That dude is a brilliant lyricist. And I'm sure it's great. It's just, it's like, certain food, man. Like, it's great. Like, I'm sure this cheeseburger is delicious. I don't like that cheeseburger. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
not for me.
Well, I bring him up because like he has done everything himself, right?
Yeah,
Like his
absolutely.
management, his touring, his releases, everything. He owns everything revolving around that. And I think 2012 or 2013, at that point his estimated net worth was like 15 million. And if I think that I read an article 2 months ago that's like, oh, he's worth over 100 million now. Like, holy shit, to do that as a solely independent artist, doesn't matter what genre, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's bananas.
yeah, like holy shit. And it kind of shows. I always talk about Tech Nine and Ani DeFranco because she did, the same thing. She did everything her fucking self, not in the hip hop realm. And I think they were doing, oh God, I don't even know. She's right, multimillionaire also off of doing the same fucking thing, like doing everything herself. And I think that's why I was always drawn to like DIY, because I like to see bands who are doing it, making music for themselves and able to find that success within it, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's like, and if you're able to, like, make art, whatever your art is, if you're able to make your art and then it makes money, I love that every time. Like because it bums me out when I see what happens with a lot of artists. And then I have this conversation with buddies and they're like, what? So you can't fucking make money? It just makes you a sellout. I'm like, no, if you change what you're doing with the motivation of money, like that's now you've ruined your art.
Yeah.
You know, if you're whatever your art is, whether you're in a band or you're a painter or whatever, if you're painting a certain style of painting and then you change because you're like, oh shit, I can make money if I do this, and then you change it, I don't that's Walmart business tactics, and I just hate it. I understand, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments telling me how wrong I am, and I welcome those conversations. I
Well,
love being wrong.
you know,
But it's just it frustrates me when I see people. First of all, it frustrates me to see people motivated by money in general. Like I've, talked to bands on the road and stuff, and they want to talk about how much money they're making and stuff. And I mean, it's fun. It's nice to be able to buy a hotel room and stuff, but it's like
it's
the
nice to be able
reason
to
that I'm
eat.
coming to your town is so that I can play guitar, not so
Right.
that I can, put money in my pocket. It's awesome that it also works out that, but it also sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't make dog shit. Sometimes it costs us money to play a show. And guess
Yeah.
what? I couldn't tell you which ones were which because they are all exactly the same amount of fun to me.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's the important thing, right? Is the motivation behind the music. Because you're right. When that motivation changes from I want to do this to make music and to play music to I want to do it to make money, well, now it's a different world, right? Because you go from being a musician to being a business person.
Right. And it kind of cheapens the whole thing. I saw it a lot, and it's another weird correlation, but I saw it a lot in tattooing. Um, I've been tattooing like pretty much since the '90s, and I see a lot of tattooers that would like they were other artists. They were like painters and mural artists and these other artists that were doing the art. They were making beautiful art for the world here, but they weren't making money at it. So they were like, I know, I'll go be a tattooer. Instead of someone like me and all the people that I came up tattooing with that were like, I want to be a fucking tattooer.
Right.
And that's the difference is like, I want to be a tattooer because I like tattooing. You want to be a tattooer because you can't sell paintings. So you want to do something that is related to what you're doing, but you're willing to sell yourself out just so that you can still do this other thing. I guess, whatever your time is worth to you, and tattooing's fun as fuck. That's why I enjoy doing it.
Yeah. I, I tried to tattoo at one point and and I say I tried to tattoo, like I bought a machine and I bought like some fucking fake skins to tattoo on. And I very quickly realized I have no artistic talent at all. And I fucking quit. I was like, nope, like this ain't for me.
It's all I wanted from a very young age. I remember my mom showing me this picture, and it's me on Santa's lap, and I'm like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old, and I asked him for a tattoo machine,
Hell yeah.
and I was like, fucking in first grade. You know what I mean?
That's
My
fucking
mom
awesome.
was not a great person. I should not have been exposed to that lifestyle that young, but I knew what tattooing was, and I knew I wanted to do it. So it
Yeah.
bums me out when I see somebody who's just like a graffiti artist that's like, I want to be a tattooer. Like, no, you don't. You just don't want to work at Costco.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Everyone's got different
and it's all about
motivations, I
what your
guess.
motivation is. And
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that as a band, our motivation is just to like smoke weed and have fun and play guitar and blow your eardrums out, like it comes across and people see it. People see it's organic, like we're having fun on stage and people see that we're having fun because we enjoy being there. And
Yeah.
I feel like you can hear it in the music and you can see it in the pictures we post online and the captions in our Instagram. It's like we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like this shit is fun. We're not here to fucking blow anybody's minds or make $1 million. If we blow somebody's mind and someone wants to give us $1 million, we're not going to say no to it. But I'm also not going to change Hashtronaut just so that it can be more marketable either.
Right. No, there's no sense in all that shit. Uh,
No, Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a job either way at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah, well, we all do, right?
Right?
Fuck it. When you guys hitting the road again?
Middle of September.
Coming out east?
I don't know how far east we're making it. We're playing Ripple Fest. That got announced a few months ago, and that's at the end of September. So we're doing a little
Run.
loop, kind of more the middle of the country. We did the West Coast in the spring, and we're kind of doing the middle of the country. We wanted to go a little bit further east, but we had some time constraints. Some dudes in the band and some dudes in some of the other bands just had some obligations. We couldn't really make it happen.
Now you guys are doing Ripple Fest in Austin, right?
Austin, Texas. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one in Boston. Uh,
Yeah. I think it's just like a 1 day or maybe a 2 day thing.
yeah. Yeah,
The
I
one
feel
in
like
Austin's like a whole week almost. It's like 4 or 5 days or something. It's insane.
yeah, there's some good bands in that bill, like
Oh my God, I'm so excited for it.
Temple
I'm
of the
so,
Fuzz
so, so
Witch.
excited. Like truck fighters and
Yeah.
dozer, lowrider. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's gonna be that'll be a killer time.
But yeah, it's kind of more of a middle of the country loop. And then we're going to do a big East Coast swing in the spring.
Okay.
That's what we're trying for right now. Nothing's set in stone, so don't get mad at me in the comments, but not that anybody gives a fuck where Hashtronaut's going.
That's not true. I think a lot of people do.
But we're coming to your town soon. We're gonna come smoke all your weed and blow your eardrums out.
So spring like April-ish.
We don't really have anything said. Like I said, there's nothing has even booked at all yet. But yeah, as soon as it's not shitty everywhere, because I do not want to be in the Northeast in February, and
No, that's the fucking truth.
yeah, I'm all set with that. So, and it's where I'm from up there, and so is Kellen. So it'll be fun to go like see some old buddies and stuff. Been a minute
Right.
since he's been back there.
We gotta maybe talk to Braun about getting you guys on his thing in
Oh
April.
yeah, I talked to Braun. Yeah, they're gonna yeah. I'm not even gonna say nothing because I'm not gonna spill the beans on nothing. Although actually, I think by the time this airs, the news will be out, so I think I can spill the beans. Actually, when is
Okay.
this coming out?
I don't know, probably like a week or so.
Okay, so the news will be out by then. I'm gonna spill the beans. You heard it here first. So we're touring in September with Temple of the Fuzz Witch.
Yes.
Yeah, so doing a little middle of the country loop with them, and then for I think maybe a half of the shows, a good chunk in the middle of them, we're scooping up the homies in crop, bringing them with us too. So
Oh, that is fucking
yeah, I think
dope.
there's like 3 or 4 days in the middle with crop on them. So
So how oh, you don't know how far east you're coming. Are you guys coming to Kentucky?
I think we're coming to Kentucky in September.
That's what I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're playing Lexington. I'm not sure on the date, but I think it's
Oh, okay. That'll be fucking dope, dude.
yeah, it's gonna be Crop Us Temple, and I don't know if there's gonna be another opener.
God, that'd be fucking. So you guys will either play Owls or Green Lantern.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know that it's already all booked. I think there's only 1 day we're waiting on still, and that's like the very beginning of the tour.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, I got to be there for that.
Yeah, I think the details are coming out, I believe, tomorrow on socials. So by the time this drops, the news
We'll be,
the news should be out. So I won't be in trouble here.
yeah. Well, I'll pay attention. I won't edit this for 3 or 4 days, so I'll just make sure that when I
Yeah.
edit it, the fucking dates are out there.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that everything's getting announced tomorrow. We got I saw the flyer the other day and stuff, and it looks rad.
Hell yeah. Yeah, that's fucking dope. Like, Braun doing that legalized Lex, he fucking busted his ass putting that thing together this year.
Yeah,
And
we tried to make it. And then Foul Sounds, like we wish we could have done more as far as like sponsorship, but we donated a pedal and stuff for a raffle they did. But yeah, I wish we could have played it. I wish we could have done more. There was just it just kind of like we had originally tried to, and they were like, "Oh, hey, sorry, blah blah blah. It was just we weren't really sure what was gonna happen and this and that." And it was like, "Oh, dude, no worries. If somebody drops off," and I just jokingly was like, "Hey, if anybody drops off, let us know," you know. And then somebody did drop off, and he let me know, and I was like, "Fuck, now we can't do it."
Yeah.
You know, like because he had already, we couldn't make it happen the first time we had talked about it, and I think our drummer had made some plans and he was out of town. I don't remember what it was,
Of
but
course.
it was a bummer. We did try to make it happen, but next year for sure.
Yeah. Oh, oh yeah.
If they do it next year, I'd love to make it out there for that one.
Dude, I'm trying to look like I'm trying to look at my fucking text from him right now. He's gonna do it next year for sure.
Heck yeah.
Um,
I mean, obviously, I can't guarantee nothing, but I'd love to. We tried to play it this year, and if we
yeah,
can make it happen, I would love to. Those dudes are awesome.
they are. They're all super good dudes, and you know, I don't think I've ever been to a festival that ran that fucking smooth.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. When you put in the work, it's they pay off. A
yeah,
lot of those, there was so many fests for a while, where just everybody was having a Doom fest and a this fest, and it was kind of got a little oversaturated. And I heard a lot of dudes were just losing tons of money because you got to pay all these bands to, you know.
yeah,
There's a fine line between paying bands that are going to attract people and want to buy a ticket versus people that are actually going to buy tickets, you know?
yeah,
And a lot of what those festivals end up being is just kind of you playing for the other bands.
yeah. Not like Braun did exactly what he needed to do to promote this, and
Yeah, everything looked great. There was flyers looked great. There was like, you know, it was cool, a lot of cool promo for it. And
dude, almost immediately there was just tons of people there, and I was like,
hell yeah.
fuck, dude, I'm used to, not like people don't go out until later here because the bars, well, I mean, it's the way it used to be. Bars don't close until 4 in the fucking morning.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So they're like, okay, we're gonna party late. Fuck, dude, everyone was there early, watched, I feel like every band when they played, they had a huge group in front of them, and like you couldn't
That's always nice.
you couldn't ask for anything better than that, from literally the first band that played till the last band that played. Everyone had a really good crowd, and
Awesome.
and they were really active, like active listening and shit. It was
Yeah.
Braun fucking rocked it out, dude.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it went well. I wish we could have made it, but I'm glad at least, you know, he still
Yeah,
knocked it out of the park. I'm sure it was going to go well. Everything looked like it was great. You know, all the promo looked awesome. Everything looked like it was going to, you know, I'm glad to hear it went off without a hitch for sure.
yeah. Well, next year we gotta get you guys out here now.
Dude, we'd love to make it happen. It's, you know, I think a 16-hour drive from Denver or
Yeah,
something like that. Crush it, dude. Astronaut loves a long drive in the middle of the night.
yeah. Nothing better. Yay.
Dude, we did, what was it? I think we did Austin to El Paso once overnight.
Ugh.
It was like 12 hours just in the pitch black desert overnight. That one was brutal.
Yeah,
We've had a couple of really, really long drives. We're like, man, we got to book this better next time. Why
those
are we
de
so
those fucking desert drives are fun though, dude, because there's nothing out there and you're just like flying.
Yeah, we weren't flying because
You
it's
loaded.
Texas and we had
Yeah.
like a comical amount of weed in the van, you know?
Yep.
So like even we got like border patrol because you have to, you know. So we go through border patrol, and they get like clearly like the dude's face. He like very clearly smells weed, and then he just like shines the flashlight, and he just goes, "What's back there?" And we go, "Speaker cabinets," and he goes, "Are there any people in them?" And we're like, "No," and he's just like, "All right." And that was literally the whole thing, and I'm like, "Awesome, cool, all right." And we don't go to jail today, cool.
Hell yeah. I saw a video that the dude was like, "You want to make your border stop go fast? Have I talked to you about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ?" And the guy's like, "Get the
Whoa.
fuck out of here."
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that probably wouldn't work with us knuckleheads. They'd be like, "Get the fuck out of
Get out of What are you hiding? Get out,
here." Yeah,
get out of the van. Come on.
yeah. We're
Ah,
taking you to jail anyway.
right. You're like, "Oh, you haven't even found anything. What the hell?"
Nope, straight to jail.
Straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect your $200. Like what? Like what the fuck?
Yeah, we try to be, especially in non-legal states, we try to, we try to drive respectably and try to not draw too much attention to ourselves.
Yeah, well, as a band, that's kind of hard to do.
That's why, we even our van is like our van is like super low key looking, and like it's an old police van. So like it looks like we're already on your team anyway.
We need a new van. Get the last cop van that came off. Like, get
Yeah. So remember, I keep bringing up things that I think are Hashtronaut strengths, and this has come up with 1,000 times in 1,000 other conversations. Especially, our biggest talent as a band is planning for how dumb we are. The only reason we're allowed to be successful at all is because we pre-plan our stupidity.
that's
Because we know we're going to be dumb. So we have to we practice getting off stage because we know we're going to be like comically high and just be like, what? So it's all muscle memory at that point. And like how the merch is all set up and like how we set the van up and even to the van that we bought. We do so much planning goes into trying to counteract our own stupidity.
yeah. It's funny you say that though, because I was like real big. I read a lot. So one of the things I was reading about is I was reading about doctors and how they're when they do something, it seems like so easy, like muscle memory. It's because they do exactly what you do, right? Like they're fucking their prescription thing is always in like the left pocket. So when I'll get you a prescription, pull it out, and everything's
Right.
muscle memory. They know exactly where everything is,
Right.
exactly what to do. Like, and if you do that and set that up enough, you don't have to think about that shit at all.
Right.
Like, fuck, boom, 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 knock it out. We're good. You know?
Yeah. Like there are literally parts in songs that are written the way they're written because we know we're dumb. You know what I mean? Where they're like, I couldn't even tell you exactly what it is, and you wouldn't even notice it. But there will be like little cues in a song where it's like, all right, if I do this thing here, then I know in 4 measures from that's when I have. And
Yeah.
it's like why that exists in the song, the way it's written, is because we were planning for being dumb.
Cause you need that like catalyst. Okay, now I know I need to count from here. This is where
Right.
we're going. Yeah.
Right. Right. And people are like, oh wow, that part's really cool. And I'm like, thanks.
Glad you like it because I need
Yeah.
the fucking thing.
Yeah. Like that is not in there for sonic purposes whatsoever. That is a mark.
Hell yeah. That's fucking awesome. All right, Rob. Um, we're coming up on our time. We've had a fucking killer conversation. I
It's
again, dude,
always a blast, man.
hell yeah, I greatly appreciate you fucking coming to hang out. What I'm thinking is when you all come to Lexington, maybe we do a little live thing.
Fucking hey, dude.
Sound good?
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, go have yourself a fucking great night, smoke some more weed, and I don't know, we'll catch up soon, all right?
Absolutely, man.
Have a great night, dude.
You too, man.